When you hire brilliant people and tell them exactly how to do their job, you don't just waste their talent, you actively destroy it. And you're probably doing it right now, not intentionally or aggressively, but through dozens of small decisions that add up to one devastating message. I don't trust you. To think. So in this video, I'm going to show you why hiring smart people and telling them what to do is a leadership trap, what it actually does to your team over time, and how to fix it without losing control. Come with me. Hi, my name is Mary. I work with leaders and teams and study what truly separates high-performing teams from average ones. On this channel, I share all things team building, modern leadership, and employee retention. If you want a team that becomes your unfair advantage, you're in the right place. Now, let's start with the contradiction. You hire someone because they're smart. Then you tell them exactly how to do the work, override their decisions, and guide every step. You essentially hired a Ferrari, and now you're using it like a golf cart. Steve Jobs said best, it doesn't make sense to hire smart people and tell them what to do. We hire smart people so they can tell us what to do. But here's what most leaders miss about that quote. It's not just a nice leadership philosophy, it's an economic reality. Because when you hire someone for their brain and then refuse to let them use it, you're not getting what you paid for. You're shortcharging yourself. The trap. You're paying for a Rolls Royce and driving a Carrier. No offense to the Carrier. Let me break this down. You bring in someone with years of experience, strong judgment, problem-solving ability, and then you reduce their role to do it this way. You're paying for high-level thinking, but using low-level execution. According to Harvard Business Review, this is what they call wasted talent, and your employees are there asking, why did you hire me if you already know how you want it done? Here's what this does to your team. Number one, initiative disappears. Let me show you how this actually plays out. Week one, your new hire comes in excited. They see a problem and suggest a solution. You reshape it. Good thoughts, but here's how we do it here. Week three, they try again. Maybe propose a different approach to a workflow issue. You explain why the current way is better. So by week six, they stop suggesting. Not because they stopped having ideas, because they've learned something. Their ideas don't matter. Research shows this clearly. When employees' decisions are consistently overridden, they stop making them. Why waste energy proposing solutions that will get rejected anyways? And the sad part is, it happens gradually. A slow, steady withdrawal of the exact thing you hired them for. They're thinking. Number two, innovation dies. Let's talk about what this costs you long-term. Innovation. Studies show that micromanaged teams produce fewer breakthroughs than autonomous ones. Why? Because innovation requires three things: space to experiment, permission to fail, ownership of outcomes. But when the how is dictated, there's no ownership, just compliance. So one day, you look around and you realize your team hasn't suggested a new idea in months. They're not pushing back on anything. They're not questioning assumptions. They're just executing. And you might think, great, finally, everyone's aligned. No. What you've built is a team of professional order takers, and the market will eat you alive. Number three, you've become the bottleneck you were trying to avoid. Now, here's where this gets really painful. Your team stops making decisions, stops thinking ahead, stops solving problems independently. They start coming to you for everything. So now, everything needs your sign-off. Every approach needs your validation. Every minor choice needs your input. Congratulations, you've trained your entire team to wait for you. You thought you were ensuring quality. What you actually built was a dependency structure where you're the single point of failure. And while your team is sitting around waiting for 2 days for your approval on something they could have handled in 5 minutes, your competitors are moving. Number four, you lose your best people. Now let's talk about the cost most leaders feel too late: turnover. Research is clear. How people are led is one of the biggest drivers of whether they stay, perform, or leave. Your leadership style. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time someone on your team left? What did they say in the exit interview? Let me guess. Better opportunity? Time for a change? They most likely didn't say what they were actually thinking. I'm tired of not being trusted to do the job you hired me for. Because people don't tell you the real reason in exit interviews. They tell you the diplomatic version. But make no mistake, your best people, the ones with options, with proven track records, with marketable skills, they're not staying at places where their intelligence is treated like a liability. They're leaving and taking their talent to leaders who actually let them use it. Number 5, trust breaks. Here's the thing about micromanagement that we don't talk about enough. It's not about what you're saying. It's about what you're signaling. Every time you override a decision, step in before they've tried, correct how they did something, not what, but how, you're broadcasting one message louder than words. I don't trust your judgment. And trust is the foundation of high-performing teams. When trust breaks down, people stop taking risks. They stop bringing their full selves to work. They start doing the absolute minimum to avoid criticism. Not because they're lazy, because they're protecting themselves from a system that told them your thinking is invaluable here. And here's the thing. Once trust erodes to that point, it's difficult to rebuild it. Because now, every gesture you make, every attempt to empower them gets filtered through, yeah, but for how long before you step in again? Number 6, you burn people out. Here's the part most leaders don't expect, the human cost. Micromanagement doesn't just affect performance, it affects mental health. When you remove autonomy and replace it with constant oversight, you don't just affect performance, you increase stress and burnout risk. Because when they're in a constant state of being watched, when they can never quite relax because of fear of not doing it your way, their nervous system doesn't distinguish between high standards and threat. It just stays activated, fight or flight mode, all day, every day. And over time, that takes a toll. Anxiety, sleep issues, decreased mental health, complete emotional exhaustion. I know you didn't hire them to break them, but that's exactly what this style of leadership does to your people. Now, before we talk about how to fix this, let's acknowledge something important. Most leaders who micromanage aren't bad people. Maybe scared, but not bad. Scared of failure on their watch, things not being done right, being held responsible for someone else's mistake. And those fears, they're valid. But here's what you need to understand. When you're afraid of mistakes like this, you tend to control everything. And that trains your people to stop thinking. So what's the alternative? It's not hands-off leadership. It's better leadership. And it's not complicated, but it requires a fundamental shift from hiring smart people and telling them what to do to hiring smart people and creating conditions for them to do their best work. Here's the framework. Define the what and why. Let them own the how. Let me break this down. If you're a leader, start here. Number 1, wait before you jump in. Next time you're about to jump in and correct how someone is doing something, ask yourself, is this actually wrong or just different from how I will do it? If it's just different, let it go. Your way isn't the only way, and then finding their way is how they develop judgment. Number 2, ask, don't tell. Instead of, here's how you should do, try, how are you thinking about approaching this? This question changes everything because it shows you value their thinking. It gives you insight into their process, creates space for them to walk through it out loud. And if their approach has gaps, you can guide without dictating. Have you considered what if? You're coaching, not commanding. 3, delegate outcomes, not tasks. Stop dictating. Call the client, ask these 3 questions, report back by end of the day. Start delegating. We need to understand the client's biggest concern before Friday's meeting. Can you find that out and let me know? One is a checklist, the other is a problem to solve. And problem solving is how people grow. Let them make recoverable mistakes. This is the hard one because watching someone do something imperfectly when you could just fix it, that takes discipline. But here's the truth. Mistakes are the price of capability. If you never let them fail on small things, they'll never develop the judgment to handle big things. So pick your battles. If the stakes are low enough that a mistake won't kill the company, let them try. Let them learn. Let them get better. And lastly, redefine your role. You're not there to be the smartest person in the room. You're there to build more of them. So here's where we are. You can keep hiring brilliant people and treating them like they're not. You can keep stepping in, correcting, controlling, and in return, you'll get a team that waits for instructions, fewer ideas, more turnover, slower results, because smart people don't stay where their intelligence is treated like a problem to manage. Or you can make a different choice. You can hire smart people and then trust them to be smart. You can define the outcomes that matter and let them figure out how to get there. You can build a team that thinks, innovates, owns, and grows instead of one that just executes and exits. The question is, what kind of leader do you want to be? If this hit home, if you recognize patterns you want to break, save this video, share it with another leader who could use this. And of course, subscribe, because every week I break down modern leadership systems and employee retention strategies that actually work. Now go have a conversation with your team. And remember, the best leaders don't control intelligence, they unlock it. I'll see you in the next video.